All right. Okay. All right. Hope I'm holding that nice distance. All right. So, um, not sure how to get started. Okay. So basically, uh, if you clicked, cool. If you didn't, then you wouldn't be watching it. So, anyways, so just before I start talking, this is not a New Year's resolution thing. Like, in case you're thinking I don't know, something like that. Just because it's New Year's, I kind of been wanting to do this, but I didn't get started on it just because I was like running out of time, like bunch of stuff right now, like bunch of schoolwork and whatnot stuff. So yeah, but I decided just to get straight to it right now. It's like almost 1 o'clock in the morning. But anyways, so basically, like the entire premises, or who even knows if that's the right word, the entire like point of my channel is really gonna be focused on trading, obviously, but mainly my forex trades in like my recaps. There might be some other videos. I'm not really sure yet, but I know that the main point that I want to do is like post my thoughts on like a trade that I'm taking that day. So like like a trade recap basically on any trades that I take. I mean, if I don't take a trade, then obviously there won't be a trade recap, but basically just like that, and basically just break down like my whole thought process, like why I won, why I lost, what I can improve. Because honestly, like I'm gonna keep it real with you, I'm not profitable yet. Like I wouldn't mark myself as profitable yet. I think I still need some more time to prove to myself. Currently, as of right now, I have 2 months of profitability on demo though. So like really everything that I do right now is on demo. Yeah, I've been in this like sort of space for kind of like a while. Like if we're looking at this like total time, it was kind of been on and off though. Maybe like a year and a half. Let me see what I'm a senior right now in high school, so it's really been like dang, I really don't know. Maybe like 2 years now, almost approaching 2 years. Who knows? Yeah, I think it was my sophomore summer, but yeah, when I really started to like get into this because excuse me, I already knew since like middle school that I did not want to do like I don't know those other typical stuff. But the point is like I already knew since middle school too that I like this type of stuff. I just never really learned. I just then I guess I didn't know how to learn, but I learned like I really started putting the time in and like putting in the work, analyzing, taking my time to learn how to do all this stuff in sophomore year, and I I learned it, but I never like really applied it. Like I did some days and some days I wouldn't, and it would be like a really bad disaster. It would be like too like much emotions and this and that. But I never really stayed consistent with this, so that's like I guess I could say like why I never really became profitable because the way I want to like approach this is basically I want to like get at least 3 months of profitability on demo and then move up to a live account with like not much, like a very small balance, like $100 starting balance, I say, and then stay profitable in that time frame that I also keep the live account, just so like I can prove to myself that trading with live money won't mess up like the psychology and whatnot. So yeah, then after that it would be like going to funded, and then just progressively like that, and so I don't need the funded anymore. But yeah, so that's kind of how that's been. And I remember when I first started, I was like hopping around from trade to like from sorry from strat to strat and all this other stuff. And honestly, that was something. Like you know, I guess I was just kind of making like this whole thing like a big a big dream that I wanted it to be, or I don't even know, something that I wanted it to be that it isn't. Like I don't know, the reality I guess is just much different than I thought it would be. Like at first, like I still like it, but the way I was treating it was like kind of off. So that's like what kind of also like I say kind of led me to be like inconsistent with it. But anyways, I just turned 18 like not too long ago, like in October. So that's kind of like when I well, that's not when I started like really locking in. Like it was during the summer where I was on vacation, and I was like, yo, I'm really bad at turning 18. Like I know what I want to do other and like I learned this stuff. I just need to apply it well and keep the psychology getting up so I could like prove to myself that I know what I'm doing, because you know it's kind of hard to like get into this and actually do something with this, and also like to get other people to agree with you on this. Well, I mean, you don't really need other people to agree with you to do this, but if you're like me and you have parents, which you do, then if they want you to go to college, then it's gonna be kind of hard to be like, hey, or like I'm not saying like you guys don't want to go to college. I'm not. I don't know, but me personally, I don't want to because I already know like what I want to do, and I don't think I really like have to go to college. So yeah, but I just decided like yeah, I gotta lock in, and really like show that what I'm doing isn't just gonna be a waste of time and money. So yeah, I'm like trying to make sure I take like the proper steps to become profitable with this without like with as little loss as possible. Basically, is what I'm trying to say. So I really started focusing on this trading stuff again, like in August, I'm pretty sure it was, and I said, okay, I'm gonna just keep track. Well, actually, it was, we were going back to school, and then that's like the first day of school was when I actually started logging stuff in. But I was like already like taking a few trades and whatnot, but nothing too crazy, because like I said, before this, I had learned and just never really took the time out of my day to apply it until August when I got back from vacation. I really started looking back into everything. I was like, okay, let me ease my way back into this. And then I actually didn't bring it with me, but I have a little notebook, it's a planner. It's like this big. It's a little planner that I keep my like trades in that I take, and then I write like about the trade I took, and like if it went good or bad and why it didn't go good, or why it didn't go as planned, or why it did go as planned, or what I could improve on it. And yeah, just like that. And I have also marked down like the days that aren't good for trading because of news or something like that. Because as of right now, I only trade what's called Euro USD Forex, obviously, just to really prove to myself that I know what I'm doing, and I don't like throw in different variables of throwing in this pair or that pair or this index, or just I want to really prove to myself that yeah, like I'm solid before I really branch out like that, just to keep consistency, I guess. And I also really only focus on taking one trade per day, and from like 9:30 to like 11 max, like from market open to 11, because that's really like the prime time for trading, at least for me. 30 Eastern time, New York session open. So yeah, that's really what, like, just a little background. Anyways, so I started keeping track, and it's just so you guys are up to date too. If anyone's watching this, if not, then this is really, it'll just be a record for myself, which is okay too, because that's essentially what this also is. It's also like a different way for me to journal as well, and to help anybody else that also wants to get into this, learn. There's learning everywhere, like even the best people, like there's always learning everywhere. It'll never be perfect, so yeah, like I was saying, so I'm gonna post like basically everything I do, all my wins, all my losses, just keep transparent as possible. But let me just get you guys up to date. So started in August, but it was like August 26th or something. So I really didn't count that month as like a month of, hey, was I profitable or not? Because it was only like 3 days left of the month. So I really started in September, and then I actually didn't make any profit that month. That day was red. I don't remember how much I lost, but I'm trading on a $10,000 demo account, and I think I ended up with like 9.6K, 9.8. I don't know. I just know that it was like under 10K, like at least 9.8, maybe a little bit less. Doesn't matter. And then we went to October, which I also had a red month. That month, I actually ended up lower than what I was before. November was actually my first green month, and so yeah, that was actually like the month where I really started applying the problem that I saw with the 2 months before it was that I was really like really getting like really emotional with like all my trades in, and I would like be like, oh, should I take this and that, and I would I would act like I would have to trade every single day, and they really like there's you don't always have to because there's not always an opportunity presented to you, and even if there is, there may be news or something, or it was like either like I was taking trades like under improbable circumstances, or it was already like 11:50 and I was still looking, and it wasn't good. So I guess in November I just really locked in, and then I was like, yo, stick to it, stick to it, stick to it, and yeah, that was my first green month, and then we had December as well, where that is also my second green month, and then we have right now January just started. Overall, as of right now, green, which is obviously the goal on from now. So yeah, just a little background of where we're at, and I can start a trade recap as well in this video, but I'm not sure because we're at 13 minutes already, and if I start with the trade recap, it might be a little longer the video, but I could just get it out of the way honestly. Because this trade was from January. Let me see. 'Cause this trade was okay. It definitely wasn't this day. Okay, it was from January 2nd. Yeah, it was from January 2nd. Okay, yeah, we could just get this out the way, just get it started, and then we could just like you might as well just put it in the video because this is really what is going to be most of the channel, I guess, based off of. And yeah, what was really my thought process behind everything. Okay, so actually took a trade today and then one yesterday. So I need to get to the one that was yesterday. What? I think I had this one. Let me take a hold on. Okay, there was nothing wrong with it. Okay, so this is essentially just like the trade that I took and how it played out. But obviously we're gonna get more into why I took this trade. So I wanna let's see what I want to start with. So obviously first things first, before I hopped on the market, I had to make sure like does it stay good? Yeah, it was pretty like like there wasn't really any news that was too bad. And honestly, the news that there was while I was in this trade, let's see, 9:45. Yeah, it was not that impactful to what was happening. It was like right around here. So yeah, so we were really good. So the first thing that I looked at when I wanted to take this trade, I could have improved this also way more with how like my risk to reward, which I'll also get into in a little bit. But anyways, since it was a new week that we were getting into, I usually like to check the weekly just like as like a little background, like just in general, like just to see what the market's doing, like just to know, even though we're not going to go entirely based off of the weekly. However, right, I still have some of my lines drawn just because I don't want to erase them and then forget what I drew. So we see right in the weekly, just straightforward, simple. What I was really looking at is, hey, what's happening with the market on the weekly? Absolute downtrend. We're just pooping all over the bed right now. So that's basically just that. I just looked at this and said, "Hey, okay, we're still in a downtrend with this, and it looks like we'll probably be approaching this imbalance down here." And as of today, I think I actually might have reached it. Let me see. Yeah, I actually did. So I could delete that too. Well, actually, no, I didn't. But it's like right outside of it. So we might see a little more dumping into it, which is honestly what I'm expecting. And if not, then hey, like we just adapt to the market and take different trades. But anyways, so yeah, so basically the first thing I was really getting into is, hey, what is market doing on the weekly? We have a downtrend on the weekly. So I said, okay, that's pretty simple, and then I moved to the daily, where then I also saw, hey, we're absolutely ripping to the downside on the daily. And January 1st was this, no, I mean 2nd. This was the day that I took the trade. Okay, January 2nd. We were overall bearish for this day too, because from what I was seeing, it was like a perfect shorts day for Euro USD, because we had this imbalance that was created right around. Okay, well, I don't know what the heck all this is, so I'm just gonna delete it and just show you what I want to show you. Okay, so we had myself. Okay, all right. We had this imbalance that was created on the daily, and we had actually just tapped into this imbalance and pretty much, filled this imbalance, and then we started breaking back down, and we broke structure back down to the downside with this. We had our leg down, created an imbalance, and then we had a move up, and then we went lower right past this low right here with this candle before. So honestly, I was really expecting this to rip. So no, rip downwards or just fall. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so that's what we're really looking at, and then we moved down to the 4 hour where overall we kind of just saw like similar things happening. All right, let me see. Where was this? This was Yeah, I'm gonna also try to get these posted almost as well. I can't do them as soon as I take the trades because I'm usually in school, but I'll work on getting these like recaps getting posted same day. So you know what I'm saying. Okay, so here we're trading here January 2nd, right? And then I moved down to the 4 hour, and this is what was happening. We also had this imbalance that was created right here on the 4 hour. Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Where is January 2nd? I need to mark this out. I'm gonna mark this out 9:30 just so I'm not messing this up. Just because I don't wanna say something that I didn't do. Okay, right there's 9:30. Okay, nice. Now let's hop back on the 4 hour so I could tell you exactly what I did. Okay, so here is 9:30. Okay, so we had this imbalance. We actually don't need this anymore. This is from like last week. I don't remember. Okay, so we had this imbalance that was also created on the 4 hour, and like I said, it tapped into the imbalance just like it did on the daily, and then we rejected off it, and we could see this because the candle just came back down, rejecting. So I was pretty bearish on this, and there wasn't really anything else before this that would really convince me otherwise. So I saw this as like perfect short opportunity. We're in the fair value gap so far for the daily and the 4 hour, and we have these two candles just absolutely telling hey, shorts, right? So then I was scaled down to the 1 hour, and what do I see again? We have that same imbalance just recurring like through the daily, the 4 hour, and now we're down to the 1 hour, and we have this imbalance right here as well. So this imbalance gets tapped into just the same move into the imbalance as the daily and the 4 hour. We have it now on the 1 hour, and we see price absolutely rejecting with this doji candle, and so we feel this, reject the upside, and that's kind of like where I'm like, hey, I think it's probably time to short. Like we see just a bunch of bearish movement after this rejection. So honestly, that's like the move. And after that, we scale down to the 15 minute, where this is really more where we're looking now, like to to take our positions, because we're like now more in the lower time frames. The daily 4 hour, 1 hour, I really look to get like the bias over the day. Mainly the daily bias is like, yeah, these three that I'll take, and then these last three I'll usually take, just as like what the market is doing at this moment, because I usually take my trades on the 1 minute. So this way I can really like get my executions in. So on the 15 minute for this day as well, right? Even on the 15 minute, just so you guys like really get what I'm getting at, even on the 15 minute, we had the imbalance appear right here, get tapped into the same imbalance that was occurring on the daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, and 15 minute. So it was really kind of like a no brainer this day. There wasn't really much to like mess up on. pretty seems pretty bearish across everything so far. So I marked out some highs because now that we're getting into the 5 minute, I was really looking to get like a retracement to enter off of, where I can enter off of a sweep of liquidity, and I have these marked from the 5 as well, and just kind of looking really overall, like market is really like rejecting off of all this, and like where the imbalance is, we really just let it fall down. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So this is where we were at, right? We're on UTC 5. Yeah. Okay. So I'm looking at this point now, where looking back at this, there is an imbalance right here, which was the execution point that I should have taken, I believe. But we'll get to this part, and we're gonna label this I'm gonna color this just orange, just so I know that it's the one that I marked in the 5 minute. So, what I was really looking for was a retracement into something on the 1 minute, but I was really looking on the 5 minute to see where we had any possible points that would interest me, and I really didn't see any. But now that I see it, this was really my biggest like signal that this was the entry point, because market's moving in the downtrend, and we have this bearish fair value gap, and on the 1 minute we had, okay, this is really far back. Okay. All right. And on the 1 minute, let me see if we get some more candles over here. Okay. On the 1 minute, I'm not sure. I don't remember if some lows were swept in order for this retrace, but on the 1 minute we had, like straight dumping, and then we had this retracement happening just right as the market was about to open. So we had this retracement happening, like I said. So the main thing I was really looking for was exactly this: a retracement up to sweep some liquidity, and then we had some resting liquidity right here at this point, which we ended up sweeping. And then I was really looking for, okay, we have our sweep right here, and then after this we had our break of structure, which was right here. Once we obviously broke out of this, we had our order block. Here, we're gonna delete a bunch of this unnecessary stuff real quick. Okay. So I have my order block right here, which was our movement that caused the sweep on liquidity. So I had this. I was waiting for a few more things. I was waiting for the breaker structure, which happened, and then we had our order block re-entry that also happened. And like ideally, I would have ideally I would have wanted for it to reach equilibrium, just so we could have got like price on a discount. It was really close, but you know it is what it is. And then I was also waiting for a value gap entry, which was going to be my execution point. So see this imbalance. There was two imbalances that I was really looking at. There was this imbalance, and then there was this imbalance right here. If I can edit the size. All right, there was this imbalance right here, and you know market moved back into the order block and imbalance right here for a double retest, and that should have been my execution point now that I look at it more, but at the time I really wanted to get this ideal execution point just so I could be in a nice price range and get a really nice risk to reward, and just a better entry overall. But like I didn't, I kind of sold because higher time frames, they'll always have a higher like power, I guess, if you want to say, over what the smaller ones are. So although this was an imbalance we had right here, and so was this was the one that I should have entered off of, because on the 5 minute we had that same imbalance right here, and then look at this, we go fill our imbalance and then just straight dump. So that's on my part. Like what could I improve on my trade? So I can definitely improve being more aware of what's happening on different time frames, and just also just don't be greedy because it wasn't even like that big of a deal. Like, I mean, yes, this would have been a way higher risk to reward, but there's just no point to be greedy because, see, my risk to reward then was 1.67, but with this imbalance, it would have been around 3.41, which is like almost double. So that that's just like just be more aware. I would say that is something I need to improve with this. And usually I like to check the 1 and 5 minutes once I'm like really like locked in on a trade. But it just happens, some day like you just don't see it. You're doing something or you're in school like I was. And so, it just happens. I ended up entering off of this little like rejection off of the imbalance. And I really like knew like, hey, like price is not gonna go back into this because like we had the 5 minute saying like, hey, like this is the imbalance. Price ended up going back to retest this imbalance, but it just it's just like whatever at that point. So like it just kind of happens. Like, yeah, I could have waited. Most likely, yeah. It's just stuff that happens. I'm still in the learning process. So yeah. So I enter off this, and then it's like, what time is it? 9:44. I enter off it. I'm just watching. Price starts moving down, and I'm like, okay. And then we kind of have this moment that's just like accordion, just a ton of like up down up down up down for a kind of a long while. And then we'll kind of get to this in a little bit, but the way I had set up my TP for this, in case you're wondering, the way I had set up my TP for this trade, like I said, I usually check the 5 minute and the 1 minute a lot when I'm taking these trades. Like I said before, this was kind of like a no brainer. So price was really moving down a lot, and there wasn't really any other points of liquidity that you could find resting down here, but for like the really high time frame ones now. So what I did was that I went into the daily and I said, hey, we're here. No, where were we? January 2nd. Okay, we're here, and so we're looking for our next point of liquidity, because we're dumping still on the daily as well. So our next point of liquidity was at this point right here. So I underlined this one. I also underlined this one, but I only ended up going at like full TP right here because I initially planned, maybe let it go a little longer and only take out like 75% of it, but there was that big candle just absolutely like took the whole thing, and then it just took it out faster than I could set my limit order when I decided. So yeah, that's just how I took the the mark for the TP. Usually I don't go for the daily TPs, but every single one was in line with the bias, and then the daily was like so close to reaching those points of liquidity. So that's just why I picked that one. And you can see here as well, the second point of liquidity that I picked, that's where price rejected off of. And then we have the retracement now. So let's get back to the trade. All right. So we kind of had this like all this really slow movement going on. I didn't really, it was nothing really too interesting for all this time. Just, we had this imbalance form, and then we had price go into it, reject a little bit. And so we had price just keep dumping a little bit. And then we got to the retest this imbalance deeper in, and that's really like when we sent it downhill, because you can see, right, like it was all just chill until we had this big candle, which kind of took me by surprise, I'm not gonna lie. So because it just went all the way down, and they're feeling like somewhere like around here. So realistically this was more like here, somewhere around there, that ended up filling. But yeah, that was kind of everything that happened here. And another thing too that I was looking at while I was doing this, like I already hit TP right here. I was out of my positions, and then after that, price just dumped a little more with the next candle, and then it kind of just did a little retrace. And like I was saying, like the market was really, really, really bearish that day, and I saw this huge imbalance, and I was like, "There's no way we're not going to keep going." So I thought about entering, but like I said, I'm just keeping consistency right now. So yeah, I faded it, but live to trade another day. Like just take my trade, win or lose, be happy, and then just go. Like, I honestly saw it when it was right around like right here, and then yes, this could have been a nice trade, but you know, it's okay. And ended up going right to the second point of liquidity that I had for the daily. So yeah, that would have been a nice trade to catch. Like realistically, like if I would have taken it, that would have been like a real nice, quick, and nice risk to reward. But it is what it is. I just faded it. Just I was in school. I was in school and whatnot. So yeah, but essentially, yeah, it's kind of like the whole idea of what I did behind that trade, and then you could see that I made off that trade. How do I make this bigger? Okay, that I made off that trade 173 USD simulated, of course. So yeah, these are positions that I had from ever since I started in August. So yeah, you can see like this is how I was saying, like I really had the red months, and then a little bit of green, then straight red, and then we started getting more into the green, less red, more into the green, less red. And then we have some reds, some greens, some one red, and a few greens, and that's really just how it is. Like you don't win them all. You don't win them all. You could have like the winning streaks and losing streaks, and just the point is really to have the more wins than you do losses. And there's two trades on here that I don't have like marked down, that were also what's called that were also dubs, but I don't really count them towards like what I'm at. I just keep everything that's in here. I have two that I couldn't take because Trading View, like the paper trading, it was like under maintenance or whatnot. So it wouldn't even let me like do anything. So yeah, like that would have been two more wins in the book. Yeah, and they were actually pretty good risk to reward too. But yeah, since I didn't physically press enter, I just didn't count that one, and as well as another one that I couldn't take. But that's just overall how this trade went. So yeah, I'll be getting posted that other one soon, and yeah, if you want to see more, just subscribe, and uh, like if you want. You don't have to, but yeah, I'll get to posting more of these every single trade. So yeah, another trade recap coming soon for today's. Yeah. All right, peace.